Hello, hello, hello. How y'all doing out there? It is your girl, Shonda Ray, back with Boss Talk. So, did y'all miss me last week? I know you did. I missed y'all. I had to take a little bit of time off, and I'm going to be taking more time off coming up soon. Maybe, because it's all going to depend on how well I feel after I have back surgery on September 16th. So please say prayers for my speedy recovery and that the doctors do what they got to do and help me get out of all this pain that I get to experience on the daily. So I'm really happy to be here tonight. Listen, I don't know where you are in the world, but the weather is going crazy all over America. I happen to be blessed to be in sunny California. But let me tell you, it's been just a tad bit too sunny for us over here. Crazy. It is 6:06, running a little late tonight. Sorry, y'all. And it is 99 degrees. And today, I think the high today was about 101, but it has been as hot as 107 degrees in Woodland Hills, which is right down the street from me. And that's a lot. So it's been pretty hot here in Encino too. Um, it's been a little bit crazy. They're telling us that there's heat warnings. They've been doing flex alerts where you have to be paying attention because they might turn off your lights. The power's going out. I had a couple of clients who could not do their virtual therapy because their lights and power went out because of these brownouts with this tremendous heat. And it's kind of bad for us in California when it gets this hot and it's so dry, because of course that is our fire season. So please pray for us that we don't have fires going crazy. I am praying for those of you on the Gulf Coast and all those areas where it is just raining nonstop. And yeah, we just have to keep each other lifted because it's kind of crazy out here in these streets. So I am also wanting to tell you about a few things that are coming up. So besides me having surgery, because that's a big thing, y'all, that's a real big thing. But besides that, I am excited to tell you a little bit more about the dating workshop, because that is coming up in November. And even before that, I am the president of the Black Women's Network, and we are going to be having we're having our annual event, but we're switching it up a little bit. So I want to tell you more about that. And I will tell you a lot more about that when my guest comes on, because she is a longtime member and board member of Black Women's Network. So let's see who's out there. Hey, Lucien, you know what? You're a mess. We are going to get it started. You just sit tight. Tell Dad I said hi if he's back there watching. So you just calm down. Oh my goodness, I don't have my water. Oh no. Let me see if Belinda's still here. She can bring me some water. Uh I hope y'all can't read lips out there, but I just had to get me some water going on. And Lucia Nehemiah is with us tonight. He is so excited. No, you couldn't hear me because I was yelling to other people. So I was getting my water together here. I'm parched. It is 100 degrees. Well, 99, but it's hot in California. So I have to have my well-connected water on board. Lucia Nehemiah is, thank you, thank you. Lucia Nehemiah is the creator and founder of Well Connected Water, and it is yummy alkaline spring water. And let me just take a little sip. there's an art to sipping your water without um, messing up your lipstick. All right. So before ah before too much time goes by, I want to introduce tonight's guest. You are going to have a good time because we always have a good time when we get together. And this woman, as you saw, we talked about the colors related to our personalities. So we are going to get to learn a lot tonight, laugh a lot, and just have a good old boss talk time. So let me tell you a little bit about Miss Gwendolyn Goodman. She is the owner and principal consultant of her Marina Del Rey, California based company, One Solution, a business development, human resources, and training company. Gwendolyn is a highly sought after trainer, presenting her high energy personality temperament workshops and diversity to inclusion crash program that incorporates mindfulness, emotional intelligence, leadership, and life skills. Over the last 30 years, Ms. Goodman's passion work has been in the nonprofit sector, where she serves on several commissions, advisories, and boards. And her most notable work is as the community and PR director of Black Women's Network. It is a 42-year strong business and professional women's organization based in Los Angeles. Gwendolyn, while working tirelessly in the community and her church and serving her family, is well known for inspiring young women and couples with her personalities. Oh, I got it. Okay, that's it. Personalities. Y'all get it? Where she pours not only tea, but love and life skills into the hearts and minds of these upcoming leaders. She is the founder of the Inspiration Walk, founded in honor of the memory of her son, Jason. And with her husband, Larry, they produce an annual heart, health, and wellness edutainment experience, and it's free to the community. And she'll tell us more about that as it just passed. She is a certified career and life coach, which is primarily where her 30 plus years of personality theory training using the true colors methodology based in Myers Briggs science is applied. Gwendolyn's healing journey past cancer affirmed the effectiveness of some of the healing modalities that she advocates for and is certified to train. She is a mindfulness and EFT, that's emotionally focused therapy, practitioner, and she is a certified yoga breathing coach and a certified essential oils therapist. She recently finished her e-reader, Healing the Raging Soul, Breathwork, Teas, and Scents for Transformational Self-Care. Gwendolyn is a cancer-free thriver with a testimony, a wife of 30 plus years, a mother of four, a doting Grammy of three, and a follower and raving fan of Jesus Christ himself. So without another word from me, please bring and welcome to Boss Talk, Gwendolyn Goodman. Hey, Miss,
Howdy.
how are you?
I am well. I am well. Just you know how we do it. Uh rushing from one space in the world to another space in the world to get it all done. But
Absolutely. That is how we do it.
wouldn't have it any other way.
Absolutely. Well,
Uh,
say hello to our VP. Good evening, boss lady. She says, hello, Miss Michelle Morbell.
Hello, Michelle Morbell.
Thank you for joining us. I want to pop Lucian's email, or I'm sorry, website for the water. So it's wcwaterbottles.com. And he just delivered three cases to me yesterday. And we keep it stocked here at Living Loved. It's amazing water. And
Hmm.
I feel like this. We have to drink water. We have to drink water to live and survive. So why not drink water that is your friend's water? How about that?
Well,
Your friend of like what? I mean, gosh, we go way back to my days at TCO, Tiffany and Company.
Ah,
Ah, so, well,
I
Gwen,
just
I'm
took
so
off my
excited.
bracelet, so I'm not shaking it. I it, it was making so much noise. I thought, well, let me just remove that.
Well, I'm breaking naked, bracelet naked right now because, as you might know, I have been podcasting all day, and I just had the opportunity and pleasure to be on the Power Conversations podcast with Nadia Francois. And we
Ooh.
need to talk about Nadia. She's amazing and has an amazing testimony, and is a business strategist. She's in the beauty biz and all of that. So I got to spend time with her. And after I get to pre-record the nitty grit. And
Oh my.
yes, so
After this today?
yes, right after this today. So I have another shirt over there. I'm changing it up a little bit as we go. So, oh, you know who's on here? He
Who?
says, "Hey, mom, Jonathan Scott is on here."
Oh my goodness.
So, hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in.
Hello.
Let's see.
That'll be my own kid.
How about that?
I'm
Oh,
delighted.
look. Well, Michelle is sending us some love, but here's hello, Vanessa J. Ross. So, hello, beautiful. She says. So, Vanessa was a guest on, or not a guest, but a audience member, a viewer of the podcast that I was on with Nadia just a little bit ago. And so, Vanessa, type in the chat and let us know where you're viewing us from. And we have Linda Coleman Willis. Hello. Welcome. Thank you. Welcome
Hey,
to Boss
Linda.
Talk. Vanessa says, hello, beautiful sisters. Hello back at you.
Hello back at you.
Camellia says, good evening, queens. Yes, I love
Oh,
good evening, queens. I love it. I
our
love
girls,
it.
our girls.
Saludos. Hello, Miguel. Now, Miguel and I go way back. Miguel and I did our master's program together. Yes. So nice to see you. I keep trying to steal him over here and have him work with us over here at Living Love Pathways to Holistic Healing. Shameless plug, shameless plug. Oh, Vanessa's
Mm.
coming from New Orleans.
Ooh.
Yes, yes. Well, welcome to Boss Talk.
I
So,
was there this summer. Welcome, Vanessa. And I can't say that all of it was pleasant. I had two interesting things happen on my New Orleans leg of my vacation. We were stuck for 2.5 hours in an elevator. So we had, these big strapping, wonderful firemen, 12 of them to get us out through it was some kind of experience. And then, of course, we got back home and my husband had COVID. So
oh God, after all
New
that,
Orleans
uh,
doesn't make my heart go fast right now.
woo, and let me just tell you, that stuck on the elevator thing.
Yeah, that
So,
was not
in
good.
my building over here, I am always just definitely frightened. I shouldn't even say this out loud, but that one day that elevator is going to just not open up when it's supposed to, and I'm gonna be stuck on there. And
I
I'm not.
would I would tell anyone, especially if you're in a large building alone, make certain that your phone is working when you go into an elevator,
Oh,
and you're in a large building and there isn't a live person somewhere to assist you. It's so
mm,
important to have your telephone with you and be able to
yes,
make that 911 call, so they can get paramedics in if all else
yeah,
fails. And
yeah.
that was our story. We actually had to, because none of the buttons in the elevator were operative.
Oh my
So
goodness.
the phone was not operative. It was going to nowhere. The button for alarm was disabled. So yeah, the only thing that was our savior was making that 911 call, and they in turn getting paramedics. I'm sorry, getting
Wow.
the fire department, not paramedics, the
Yes.
fire department. to us, and
Yes.
they were amazing.
We love those firemen and those paramedics. But that's a whole nother thing.
And women, the firemen and the firewomen, because there were two women in that crew of 12.
Oh, okay.
And
I love
yes,
it. I
yes,
love
and they
it.
were, yeah, I do have to, you know,
Shout
say
out to New Orleans,
shout out to
New
our
Orleans
women that
Bible.
are doing non-traditional work roles, which is, a part of
Yes.
the specialty of One Solution,
Oh,
having been in the refining industry for so many years. So non-traditional women's work roles are near and dear to my heart.
absolutely. Well, let's get into it, Gwendolyn. So I call Gwendolyn my big sis and my mentor because Gwendolyn is partly responsible for my running for president of the Black Women's Network. That's her. I won't take no for an answer, Ness. Uh, so tell us a little bit. Let's just start there because that's where we met. Shout out to Vanessa Hawkins, wherever she is, because Vanessa Hawkins is the one that actually introduced me to Black Women's Network and started inviting me to the breakfast. So long before I joined, I was a patron of the breakfast and an avid supporter of those vendors out there in the hallway.
Yes,
And
we have
so,
the best.
yes. And then one year, my spirit said, join. And I did. And I think that was either 2008 or 9. And so there it started. And I did not meet you right away. I don't think.
Mm, I don't know. I thought so, but perhaps not.
Maybe. Was it
You
that long?
know,
Maybe
you
so.
are you are such an energy, such a vibrant energy in any room that I definitely knew you were present and was, attracted to all that energy. And at the network, we're always looking for women that are forward moving and have the energy and the capacity to love on other women that are about the work, of doing great things in their lives and
Mhm.
willing to share their skills and abilities. So yes, I noticed, and we were talking immediately
Yes.
after your application came through. And we're in the network. The work is actually done like in most organizations, whether it's a sorority, or it's a nonprofit type service organization. The work is done at the committee level.
Mhm.
So uh, similarly in the network, we're looking for committee members. We're looking for those individuals that will roll up their sleeves and share their skills and abilities with the women in the organization. So certainly when that application came across and we saw what your aspirations were, and at that time you were making the fad jewelry, uh,
That's right. That's
as
right.
well as you were preparing for your MFT. So
Yeah.
yeah,
As
I saw that, and having the responsibility at that time, as now, for community and public relations for the organization, it was that energy we need as an ambassador. Uh, you know, out there, in these streets where there isn't, today a lot of interest in volunteerism,
Mhm.
and so I think, and especially now after COVID, people have
Oh,
been in so long, and even before COVID, we were really in I think at a crossroads in our country where people were kind of circling their wagons and being very selective
mhm.
about where they were going to place their time and energies. So it's really about being able to put forward something that is going to say, this is meaningful enough for me to invest my time, and to volunteer in this space. And we can say that at Black Women's Network, we have a history of having done that,
Yes.
been that place where women could find a safe place to learn, to grow, and develop. And then Marva Smith Battle Bay, which was the organizing founder of Black Women's Network, created a conference platform that has been the place for 42 years of the organization's 43, where basically the who's who of education, politics, and entertainment have
Mhm.
chosen to give back to this local community has been from the stage at Black Women's Network. So we have taken that work very seriously through the years, and I know we may talk about this a little later in the program, but this segue is really perfect to talk about our pivot for this year,
Yeah, for the
for the
conference.
conference for
Yes.
this year.
Well,
Um,
do go right ahead, but I want to say hi to somebody that we both know and love. Chantel Denise, too, dear.
Chantel.
Hey, sissies, y'all looking scrumptious with those cute girly hairstyles. Two of the most coolest babes on the planet. Y'all better elevate. Whoop, whoop. Ah,
Yeah, I'm
leaving
doing I'm sporting bangs today.
the bangs. I got the little boobles. The boobles are
Yeah, my locks are all because they're very long, so they're swirled and pulled forward and bangs.
all right.
So
Swirled and swooped. I love it. I love it. I love it.
you can do some things with this natural hair.
I love it. Thanks for tuning in, Miss Chantel. Miss Chantel is out doing some fun stuff. She'll tell you about it later.
Mm,
We're so excited. So listen, let's talk about that pivot because as the organization is what 43 years, the breakfast is 42. Is that right?
correct.
Yes. And so in past years, for those of you, and some of you may have actually attended, I know Chantel has attended the Black Women's Network breakfast as my guest on several occasions. And she's also been a speaker at one of our virtual conferences. And so the breakfast has been our big hit every year.
Hmm.
And it is exactly what I started going to before joining the organization. So I think it's a great draw for people to come in to the organization and get acquainted with it. But uh, talk about the pivot.
Yeah, let's.
All right.
Um, well, we're seeing that many of the organizations around us are doing, and certainly businesses, being an HR professional and looking at what's happening in the workspace. There's so much shifting that's happening. There is nothing is returning to business as usual. There
Mhm,
is no normal. Getting back to there is no getting back to normal.
mhm.
It is the new normal. And for most environments, that's a hybrid of some kind. And hybrid meaning that you're going to do something that's going to be virtual and you're going to do some part of either your work or your business or your program that's going to be live.
Yeah.
And so we certainly, as we look at this upcoming event will be hybrid for us to a degree because a lot of what will happen from the entertainment space and the presenter space will be from virtual invitations and response in that way. But we don't intend this year to return to the large 600 women and a few good men in our room as we have historically done, because we believe this year that it is time to circle our wagons and bring those women that have been a part of the organization, that are currently a part of the organization, and and we're going to do a broad outreach to those that have been a part of the organization to come into the room and certainly to be entertained. We are first and foremost about that. So there will be entertainment. There will be a reason to be there that will be pleasurable, because we're all about providing entertainment. So that
Yeah.
will happen. There will be live speakers. There will be live performances, both vocal performances, spoken word, um, and the presenters, the actual speakers that we will have. So that will happen. But we're looking to also provide an opportunity for the women in that audience, and maybe a few good men, because we actually have one male member that's continued to hang on, and I
Yes.
have every confidence that he will be in the room with us this year. But we want to circle our wagons and really have an opportunity to hear from the heart of our participants. What do you need?
Mhm.
What does the future of you spending time at a conference look like?
Yeah.
What does it need to provide you for you to feel that it provided value enough for you
Hmm.
to invest in it financially? But more important than the financial investment for most of us is the time investment.
Energy.
Yes,
Yes.
I think we've all reached a place with COVID's introduction where how my time is so valuable to me, and with whom I spend my time is so
Hmm.
valuable to me, that I only want to invest it where it's going to bring me the highest return of my own, um, that I feel good about it, that it brings me a good feeling. It
Yes.
enriches me in some way. And
Yes.
much of what we have been focused on since 2020 at Black Women's Network is really self care, because so much trauma has
Hmm.
happened in America, and Americans of African descent were
Hmm.
already traumatized
To start
from
with.
their
Yes.
history on this soil. So
Hmm.
much of that has been pressed, um, down in our DNA, is because of the activity in the atmosphere
Right.
and the energy that has been placed on the earth with all of this negativity coming at those of us walking in the melanin,
In
and with my son on the line, those of us walking in the paint job, as he
the
would
paint.
say.
I love it.
um, so much has gone on that we really want to continue to focus on self care, and providing tools. The most important thing for us during this conference pivot will be to continue to share, to bring resources into the room that are going to share tools for self care, tools for self soothing,
Hmm.
and tools to help us live our best business life because we're taking care of our personal selves.
Absolutely.
Um,
100%. So, Shay W. at Shahida Walker says, sounds powerful. And she also said, absolutely selective with my time now. 100%. And it's so funny that way, because when you're as busy as you are, Gwen, as I am, and many of you out there probably as well, sometimes people think that we don't take care of ourselves.
right,
And I
right.
find that really kind of funny. Uh, because,
Because
there
we
is
take good.
real good care of myself. So here's the thing. There is nothing that I love better than to put my feet up, remote control in my hand, popcorn or a snack of some sort. Lately, it can't be ice cream because I'm trying to do away with the sugar thing. But, and just take time and just
But you
recalibrate.
left out a very critical part.
Which part? My bubble baths.
Bubble bath. Girl, you are the bubble bath queen.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. After my bubble bath. Right after my bubble bath. But
Yes.
it's so true. And like people don't believe me. I take one every single day. Do I not? Go ahead.
Every
Every
single
single
day.
day. I do my quiet time in there. I pray. I listen to the Bible on this here device and get my Jesus on. And I really it is my rejuvenation to begin the day. to energize me to go out there. And you know the work I do. Y'all know that I am, what am I, a licensed marriage family therapist, a trauma recovery specialist, a coach, all those things. I'm a people, take it in, take it in, take it in. And so we have to breathe it out sometimes. Yes. And I love, so let's talk about you for a moment, because if there's any possibility that there's somebody on the planet busier than myself, it would be that one over there, Miss Gwendolyn Goodman. So, but tell us how you take care of yourself. What is your thing?
Well, much of what you just shared in terms of, I don't do much with the remote. I am not the TV girl.
I am.
Really not at all. Those that know me well know that, when something's going on TV and everyone's buzzing and talking about it, typically they have to bring me up to date. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, now, what was that?
Yeah, well, I did pull you out from under the rug so that you could watch Bridgerton, remember?
Yes, and I am so delighted that you did.
Yes.
Oh,
And there's one
I
or two
love me
others.
some Bridgerton.
Yes, indeed. One day I will have to show you all the pictures from our Bridgerton experience, because we had such a great time. But I digress. Go
Well,
on.
they should go to Black Women's Network's Instagram and they should check you out from from Bridgerton and the ladies that were with you on
Yes.
our Instagram.
We went the whole way, y'all. We were costumed down. We were period down. Okay. We had it on. So welcome, Ashaki from Atlanta, Nichols for president. We'll talk more about that. Ashaki is going to be a guest. She is running for not just a political office, y'all, for president. Okay, so we're going to get her on here to talk about that at some point.
President of the United States?
Of these here United States, yes.
All right. Well,
Vanessa
yes.
says, amen. And Shay says, wow, I need to get into more bubble baths. Girl, call me. I can tell you how to do that.
Yes. In fact, now let's do talk about the bubble bath. I have amazing products that I love. I am a Dr. Teal's girl.
Yes,
so
me too.
I swear by his products. The oils are amazing. So in my bubble bath, there is the essential oil that is a Teal's, but there's also going to be an aromatic essential oil of my choosing for that particular bath. So that is going to go on in. I'm going to have some additional balm that will be an Epsom salt based balm that will be an addition to that will go in, and an infused Dr. Teal's Epsom salt,
of course,
will be there. And I have found the most fun little baby rose petals. And I will have to share them with you because they're fragrant. They float, and it just makes that bubble bath so inviting to sprinkle them on my water. And this, because, I deserve to bathe in rose petal water.
Absolutely. Now, y'all out there, ladies out there, please put in what is your bubble bath ritual? So Vanessa also loves our Dr. Teal. She says that she loves bubble bath. She said that recipe sounds fantastic. Hey, cousin Shirley Trail said it sounds relaxing. Absolutely.
Yes.
That is my cousin from Toledo, Ohio. How are you, darling? When we all sit together, we look like triplets. Me, her, and
oh my goodness.
Glasses. We put our glasses on, we look like triplets. Okay, absolutely. So I wanna say this. So I do the Dr. Teal's, the little blue bottle. Chantel does that one too. And then also I put their naturally infused Epsom salts. I call it the senior bubble bath.
Right.
To loosen up these old bones. And I love all the different scents they have. There's the Oh, okay. So Vanessa uses the eucalyptus.
Mm-hmm.
There is one, there's a detoxifying one now. There's
Mm-hmm.
pink Himalayan salts. There's my gosh, they should give us a little sponsorship or something because we are talking about
Yeah.
that right about now.
Yes.
Okay. Cousin is doing fine. Good to know. Good to know. You have to get your bubble bath on in Toledo now.
Yes, and
So tell us
there's more to
more.
that ritual.
Yeah,
There,
okay,
there's
go on. So
there's
tell us
more
more
to
about
that
your
ritual because the other piece is scent. Um, not only are we, getting the scent from the rose petals, but I am a candles girl. I burn them every day throughout my home, and I'm not going to go in the bathroom day or night without lighting a candle for
yes.
its fragrance. And much like yourself, I'm doing, spending time in my word, getting my inspirational quote life going on because I have
Yes.
some great friends that, I get to bring my phone in and start scrolling through just briefly to see who's hitting me with, the inspiration for the day. So I get that going. So candles
Mm,
are another really important part of, just bringing yourself into an environment of peace, of relaxation, of
yes.
presence in the space.
Yes.
So I do that. And more often than not, because I am a music girl, I
Yes.
love all kinds of music. But for my relaxation times, I love classical music. Gave my children a great appreciation for it. And I think one of them's still on the line
Oh,
because they, we didn't do TV. I wasn't doing TV when they were growing up either because I had certain things that I wanted to keep their innocence. And so they were not, they didn't watch unsupervised television
right.
until they were like 12, 13 at home. So
Yeah,
much of
neither
what,
did I. I think that's probably why I love it so much now. Okay.
right, you love music. Yes. So they got stories, they listened to story radio, all the cassettes, the Disney cassettes and whatever. But I love music and I love classical music as well. And so that's going to be piped into the room, generally on my iPod. It's going to be coming through
I love it.
some speakers. So that's kind of my bath regiment, and it could be mid afternoon, and I determine that this day or this time is such that I need to pull away and give myself a break, and I will give myself that break
Mm,
in the bath. I'm also an outside girl. I grow roses around my home, so I'll go out and clip and smell and bring them in. And so spending time outside, I have a swing,
mm.
one of those two
I
seater
know.
old lady swings
I
in
love
our
it.
backyard.
When I lived in New York, one of my favorite restaurants, and I've spoken about this on here before, was Jezebel's.
Mm,
And Jezebel's used to be a thrift shop, and she turned it into this restaurant, the best soul food in New York. Girl, it was
oh
so good.
my.
And but the atmosphere was such that she had all. I loved all the dolls. She had the dollies still around. She had the
Mm.
doilies with all of the treasures, and she had this big swing. And whenever I would go there, and sometimes I'd go with my sister, and we would fight over who was going. We would beat everybody else to get to the swing because she had it right there at the dinner table, and so the table was there in the
Mm.
swing, and you could swing a little bit while you were eating.
Mm.
Love that. And I know often we talk in your backyard.
Yes.
So what are they saying out here? Vanessa says she loves all of that, every bit of it, every bit of it. Hey, T Man, Terry says yes, Vanessa. Cousin Shirley says, I like the lavender.
Mm-hmm.
And Vanessa has
Dr.
candles.
Tills.
Me too,
Lavender
Vanessa.
Dr. Tills.
She has, yes, she has candles all over the house as we speak. We deserve all of that. Absolutely. She says, I love it. So, Gwen, I
Hmm.
know that you are doing, let me see, the personalities. So talk
Yes,
about
ma'am.
that, and then and then a little bit more about your products, and then why that's important.
I'm sorry. You said I'm doing personalities.
The personalities. Yes, I love that.
Yes, let's talk about personalities. Well, there's lots that goes on in that room. It's of course an invitational personality, and we do one of the primary for each person that comes into the tea is that they get to walk out of the room with their true colors, um, personality, temperament identified. So
Mm,
they'll take a paper because we do the personality temperament test. We can do a deep dive, and
mhm,
those are electronic. So we do them online. But for small gatherings, just to get a quick snapshot of who you are, how the words that are laid out that you select, and this is self identifying.
mhm,
So you are going to select from a group of words that best describe you, how you like to show up in the world. So that mini personality temperament assessment is shared with everyone. And so everyone gets to walk out of the room knowing what their true color temperament is, what's their brightest color to their most dull color. And we
mm,
all know that we're a spectrum. No one is, all of anything. We are all a blend of all of the personality characteristics in the temperament
mhm,
modules. So that is the first thing, or maybe not the first thing, but it is the definite takeaway, is that people get to know how they're bent identified and to be able to put a hook on it. And the, pardon me, the four temperaments are gold, blue, green, and orange. And so, just to kind of give our audience a little bit of a snapshot
okay.
of what's kind of behind the colors, it's based upon the Myers Briggs science, and that was a mother and daughter team that came together, and their formula has 16 um, alphabetic characteristics. And
Okay.
we know that 16 of anything is a lot. And
Okay.
so when you're looking at that many, you're kind of like, oh my God, it's overwhelming
Mhm,
to think about. But what True Colors does is it takes that science and it breaks it down into four colors that make the science sticky. And sticky, by sticky I mean memorable for you, so that you're able to look at what are my strongest character traits
mhm,
and what are the strongest character traits of people around me. And once you know a little bit about how you show up in the world and how others show up in the world, based upon how they're bent, how their character is shaped and
mhm,
formed by the experiences they've had, where they've who they were raised by, where they are in the environment,
mhm.
in in terms of where they live, and what lived experiences they've had, all of which is going to show up in forming our personality temperament. So,
I love that. And this is something that I actually am hearing for the first time about, and that is the this that this particular temperament work takes into consideration the environment and how those things shape you. So that it's kind of like dealing with nature versus nurture, but
right,
almost like nature and nurture.
nurture,
That's what I believe. I definitely believe that there is no one or the other. I think it
other.
is a marriage of both that
You
make us up. So it's interesting. I never knew that that was a part of the makeup of of that test. Now I remember we did this. You brought this to the group when we did the Woman in Me.
The Woman in Me.
The Woman in
Yes.
Me
Yes.
was my very first event at my old office in Tarzana, and it was an amazing house. And like
It
we had,
was an amazing house.
oh my goodness, we did so much of that. And so we had breakfast. We served breakfast, and then after breakfast, we did a paint and sip with our girl Ebony. Shout out to Ebony and your is it Your Canvas Awaits?
Your
I think
campus awaits. Your
yes,
canvas awaits.
Your
Mhm.
Canvas Awaits, and we got to do beach scenes. We painted
Mhm.
them, and
Mhm.
then we went outside and took a picture on the beautiful grounds outside, and then we came in and had lunch, and then
Yeah.
after lunch we did our personality
Mhm.
assessment with Gwendolyn doing the True Colors work. If I recall, I'm some orange in there. I think I
Your
was
orange. Mhm. Your
gold
orange and your orange, blue and gold.
and gold. Okay.
And I don't remember how strong each of the characters were. It's been a minute.
Yeah. That was
The
2018.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
been a minute.
So
So
what
my
are the
hope is,
folks saying?
but
Oh,
the
go
other
ahead.
thing about that is that your temperament does evolve. So who you were, that's why it's important to do the assessment on a on a basis when you know that something about your life is different, and
Mm,
that becomes a really good time to pull out your cards, because each of the attendees, when we do a formal program, they are given their booklet, which includes the assessment that they've done for the day and their cards, the four
right.
cards that helps you assess your personality, temperaments, bright brightest color to your color that needs to be
Mm,
brightened.
right, right.
Yeah,
So I
most
like
like
that.
you to least like you.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
it's funny that you say that it will evolve and that it will change based on what you've gone through in your life. And that just makes me think, of course, about my William and that loss. And I wonder
yes,
what I would read today.
yeah. Mm.
That would be interesting. Well, we're going to get a chance to do it because we getting ready to do something together. We ain't going to tell y'all right now. We're going to tell you later. See, what are they saying out there? Vanessa says that sounds amazing. Well, Vanessa, you'll have to come on out here to California and join us. Hello, Terry. Terry Cristiano. This is an amazing photographer, among tons of other
Mm.
things.
Mm.
You actually met
Mm.
Terry. Terry took our picture at the Regency at Wayne's
Oh.
A Player's Gotta Play,
Mm-hmm.
which, by
Mm-hmm.
the way, y'all, is happening on September 9th. That is this Friday. A Player's Gotta Play is happening at the Regency West on 43rd and Degnan. And if you want to get a table, then Terry, you should put some contact information in the chat. And if you're here in Los Angeles, or if you just want to fly on in, you can get a chance to go. And Wayne does an amazing job just entertaining and just keeping us on our toes, our feet, and hurting my back very badly. But that's a whole nother Oprah because I misbehaved at the last one because I actually thought it was my last get down before having surgery, but my surgery got postponed. So then I was in a ton of pain for a week and a half,
Wow.
but it was well worth it because there are days that I just wake up like that. So at least I did something to feel that pain. Absolutely. Oh, there he is, the man himself, the legend. Wayne Lindsay. Hello, sir. How are you? Welcome to Boss Talk today. Wayne was a guest on the show. Terry said, "Hey, Wayne." So, so Wayne was a guest on the show during Black Music Month, and he was on with his amazing son, who is an amazing musician in his own right, following in Dad's footsteps, as well as his daughter is also a musician, and we also had on that show um, Amar Khalil from Tony.
Mm.
So we had some good folks on. It was a really great show because they were all from like different eras, kind of, and so it was an opportunity to sort of trace music history, which is amazing. So Wayne is doing a Players Gotta Play, which I think I love that title, and he also does a Players Gotta Pray. So we'll let
Ooh.
you, that's happening too, and that's when we do some gospel music. And I think I heard somebody say something about gospel music, and I wanted to go
Yeah.
back to it because uh oh yes, here. Vanessa says I put on my gospel music and start dancing with the flags. I love it. That's part of her self-care, which we love. Yes, and isn't it wonderful that that gospel music now can bring that out of us and make us move in such a way that it just feels so good, right?
Yes.
So we gotta love that. We
Right.
definitely gotta love that. So Gwen,
That's how our
let's.
ancestors survived,
That's right. That's
by being
exactly
able to get into those beats, to take that
exactly.
rhythm and work it out.
Yes,
That
indeed.
all that the shouts that we see in church
Mm-hmm.
was really a part was pure survival after what
Absolutely.
they had been through
Mm-hmm.
in a week's time, to
Mm.
finally get to that moment and be able to just release.
Peace. Yes,
Um,
100%. So
mhm.
that makes me think of something else that you and I both have in common, and I love this, is the mindfulness work.
Yes.
So it's because when you said, a release, that made me think of that. So tell me how you got involved in mindfulness. Like, what was your catalyst in?
Okay. My catalyst into really all of the Eastern type healing modalities, because that, of course, is one of the psychological healing modalities,
Yeah.
emotional healing modalities, is mindfulness. Um, I actually had started long before, because I was a follower of Wayne Dyer from
Mhm.
early in my career, listening to, just inspirational speakers. I loved him from the um, 80s, from like the mid 80s. I, followed him very, very carefully. And so his work is really, a lot of it is around mindfulness practice,
Yeah.
being present and being focused. So I really started there. But when it became salient in my life was when my health was threatened by the big C,
Mhm.
and my doctors had given me some prognosis that was not something I wanted to hear. And so I knew that I was going to need to make some different choices. And I did. And
Mhm.
I was introduced to so many healing modalities that are not generally practiced in our community,
Mhm.
and kind of, in some instances frowned upon. But I'm finding so, now I'm so hardened by how our community is embracing the need to look back, to look at so much of what was done and started really on the continent,
Yes.
because a lot of this work that we're being introduced to, and it's being called Eastern and all kinds of
Yeah.
other things, really had its beginning points on the continent of Africa.
Yes, indeed.
And so, to that end, when the medicine folks would, would sit, have the women sit in a circle, and bring their attention to an item that generally was like placed in the circle, or they were look actually sitting in a circle as they watched a pot boil, in while they were sitting around that circle. And what was placed in that pot was herbs and an essence that was to bring them into a different state of mind,
Mhm.
so as to be able to release and be present with the
Yes.
experience that they were having. So, that said, my introduction, moving back to my introduction, came with my healing journey
Mm,
to mindfulness and really getting into it in terms of my own discipline
mhm,
for a mindfulness practice.
mhm.
The And then as a believer, we spend a lot of time with our word and with
Yes.
that Bible open and in our quiet time before God,
Yeah.
in a state of presence. We are encouraged to be ushered into the presence of the Holy Spirit, to be ushered
Mhm.
into the
Come on.
presence of the Lord.
Yes.
And in order to do that, you've got to be fully present.
That's
Bring
right.
yourself, your whole self, to that moment, to perhaps a passage of scripture that you've read, and now you're waiting on the Holy Spirit to reveal to you how that particular passage of scripture should be and could be used in your life
In
for your
this
good.
moment.
So
Yes.
mindfulness
Yes. Yes.
is a part of has always been with me since I've had my religious practice all my life. I was born into it until I came into it for
Right. You just
myself.
didn't know. Right. Exactly. Well, it is true. It's like, what is it? Necessity is the mother of invention.
Attention.
Because for me, I wanted something that I could cling to as a therapist, right? When I was becoming a therapist, you're all like figuring out what's your niche, what's your go-to place. And of course, we
Mm-hmm.
knew that art therapy and using music in therapy and all of that was going to be a part of it. That was a hands down, that was a given.
Right.
But I wanted to do something that would also serve me and
Mm.
for me doing this work and how I was going to maintain wellness in my
Yeah.
own body,
Right.
mind, spirit, in the presence of other people's stuff, you know. And
Yeah.
so, it's like we always say that I'm a container, and I will contain your stuff, but
Right.
I got to have some place to pour your stuff.
Ah,
Because
that's
I ain't
it.
trying to keep it, I ain't trying to take it home with me. And so that's how mindfulness came into my life, as a practice of just kind of in between clients. You get like, if we're on our game, we do 50-minute sessions. So we get 10 minutes to go to the bathroom. That's what I tell people, so we can go tinkle. Some folks try to
Right.
do progress notes. That ain't me. But, so in that in between time, I use it to wash away whatever somebody else brought to me, so
Yes.
that I'm a clean slate
Mm-hmm.
for the
Mm-hmm.
next person that's coming in and bringing me things. And then for my own mind, because I have a very busy mind.
Yeah.
It's dangerous in there, y'all. You don't want to know. But in all of that, we call it ADHD now. My family just said, "Woo, that baby got a lot of energy. How about
Mhm.
give it something to do? Keep it busy." And now,
Right.
guess what? It's ADHD. So who knew they had a name for it? But in all of that, it never mattered until I tried to go to school while working. Never had
Mm.
done that in all through elementary, all through, I tried to work in high school. They fired me all the time. So I was too busy trying to cheerlead and do all these things. My boss said, "You know what? I'm going to release you from this job, Sean LeRae." I was 16. I was like, "Okay, deuces." But in trying to go to school and maintain a business, and at the time, my husband and all the things that were coming at me that I was doing, my mind, I couldn't read a book. I couldn't, and I started to recognize that it's time to really dig in to this and have a space where your mind can be calm, so you can take in some learning type of stuff, you know what I mean?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
so that's when I really started to know that, this is something I need to do something about. And here's a way, just continue to embrace and get even more intentional about that whole mindfulness journey. Hello, Miss Vanessa Hawkins. She says, "Hello,
Oh,
my
she's with us
sister."
now.
Yes, she is. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yay! All righty then. Well,
Now,
I
Wayne,
guess we're
Vanessa
getting close
was,
to the hour.
yeah, I want to
Um,
tell Wayne that Vanessa was one of my girls at the last event, at the last Players Gotta Play. So,
Yay!
yes,
Ooh.
indeed. It is happening, y'all, the 9th of September at the Regency West, which is Friday.
Oh boy. Okay, cool
So
beans. I'm putting
Gwendolyn,
that down.
yes, put that
Um,
down. Now we got a late start, so I'm good to continue if you're good, and if y'all are good out there to continue, because we have so much more that Gwendolyn wants to unpack, and rightfully so with us tonight. So, oh, the puppy's calling.
yeah, I have a Yorkie, so and he's king of the house. So
What about
I'm
them
I'm
big
I'm
dogs?
actually recording from my home office. So ergo videos behind me and on the shelves above me and stacks
Yes.
of paper. And
Well, what
he
about
is
the big doggy? Don't you have a big doggies?
We do. We actually have a shepherd that is so smart. Oh, shepherds are the smartest dogs in the world, just in case anybody wants to know. And our Yorkie is, he just thinks he's a prince. That's all I can say. Uh, he really thinks he runs stuff.
He runs it. Okay. Okay.
And it may be that my husband is about to arrive um,
Oh, the
because
good man.
he's making he's really trying to let me know that something is happening.
Daddy's home. Daddy's home.
Yes, yes, and because I am home alone until now, I
Uh-huh.
can't really work with him. But I do need you to shush.
It's fine. We'll just talk over him.
Oh,
So,
good. I hope
Gwendolyn,
it's not too disturbing
no, it's absolutely
because I
fine.
would have to go and
You are fine.
escort him into the backyard.
Oh no, he's fine. He is absolutely fine. So I want to talk about how you use the things that you have gathered in mindfulness, in the personality training, and all of that in your company, One Solution. And tell us a little bit about what One Solution is, what it does, what you do with it, and that good stuff.
Okay, good stuff. Um, One Solution opened in 2001, hung my shingle, came out of the staffing industry, and had the gift of some funds to start my own entrepreneurial pursuit, and decided I would hang my shingle in 2001 and take all of that corporate training. And I had the benefit of working for Fortune 100 companies, and Fortune 5 and one Fortune 100 company. And the training that you get when you're in corporate America is just exceptional. So
I
I
would know that
certainly, being a lifelong learner, took advantage of every opportunity. And I was in management, so I had the benefit of some of the best corporate training out there in the 80s, in the 90s. um, and so I took full advantage of that and started One Solution as a human resources business development and training company. And we know location, location, location when you're in human resources. So even though much of what I was doing from my home, I have a suite, an executive suite that I've been in since 2004 in Playa del Rey. And so that is home base
Okay.
for One Solution. So when I need to interview candidates and or I need a conference room from which to present or to meet, that's where we go. That's where we do it. So I'm holding that space down since 2004.
That's
And
impressive.
One Solution operates as a consortium. We started that way and we continue to do that today. And as a consortium, there are parts of the work, all of us that are in a multidisciplined kind of work like human
Oh, yes,
resources.
yes.
um, you choose, you get to pick and choose when you're as my friend calls it, an entrepreneur. uh,
In these streets. Out in these
so
streets. I love it.
you get to pick and choose. So I had the benefit of coming together with some other human resources professionals and some other professionals in the industry, a CPA, um, a person focused on an attorney, another individual that's in my consortium, the group with me, is
Mhm.
focused on payroll and benefits. And I want nothing to do with payroll and benefits.
Child.
So that provides us an opportunity to partner because my love is personality temperament, my love is training, and my love is performance management. So I
Mhm.
want to look at all the things that we do in our workplace that's fun and that keeps me engaged with people and
Yeah.
not with paper,
Yes, indeed.
because people are my strength. I am. I'm an extroverted person because I get my energy
Mhm.
from people from outside of me,
Yes.
versus an introvert, which would get their energy from being more reserved, more quiet.
Mhm.
Um, so if you're just to give an example of that, because so often we hear people talk about introvert and extrovert, and oh, what is all that and what does it mean? But for me, just as a quick example, if I'm looking for my keys because I've lost them as an extrovert, everybody knows it.
Yeah,
Where did I put those keys? Where were they? I was over here
it
and
was
then I
far a
went
minute
over
ago.
there, and where are they? So as an extrovert, we're talking about it. We're about it. We're in motion about it,
Yes.
because there's that extrovert in our personality temperament.
Mhm.
Whereas an introverted personality would be
Right. All looking perplexed and nobody knows what's going on.
exactly. So they're completely internal to
Mm,
where is it? Where did I leave it? But it's all inside. They're
mm.
not saying anyone, so they outwardly, so no one's going to help them, and they're
Exactly.
not going to know that
Yes.
they're looking for them, but they're okay with
Yes.
that because
Yeah.
they really need that moment. They need to focus inward. They need to be just stand still and present. It's going to come to me. If you're quiet enough, I'm going to figure out where I left them. If you
Mm.
don't start acting your extroverted self and start talking to me.
Exactly. That part right there. So yeah, and it's so funny because clearly we know that I am not an introvert, okay? Let's just call it what it is. And if I lose my keys, I'm going to enlist y'all in helping me find them. Number one. So I'm going to be real loud about it and all of that. It is so funny though, because when we talk about personality and temperament, then let's talk about families, because I grew up with a baby auntie who was 11 months younger than me, and we couldn't be more different. We could not be more polar opposite. And she was introverted and very quiet and was happy with a comic book and, glass of milk and, not this girl. And so she would always ask my grandmother, Mama, can you make her be quiet? Can you make her be quiet? And my
See,
grandmother would be like, no, but I've tried, but it doesn't work.
it doesn't work.
But that's really great. And it's also thinking about, like, even my guest a couple of weeks ago is a twin. And I
Hmm.
didn't know that she was a twin. And her twin, she mentioned that they have different temperaments.
Mm-hmm.
So they look exactly identical, but they are very, very different. Christy is very
Mm-hmm.
much like myself, out of the box, outgoing, but her sister is very organized and calm and whatever. And then, cousin and I, as you have met us, we are polar opposites. We love each other to death. We can laugh and giggle, but when we are on those opposite sides, it is just like, who are you?
Right?
Pastor
Right?
Shirley, you know what I'm talking about. And so I love how that how it all joins together, you know,
Mhm.
and,
Mhm.
and melds into our makeup of who we are, your who you are-ness, as I call
Right. Right.
it. Yeah.
Can we tell by my face that my Yorkie is making me crazy? He never barks like this, so I'm just not sure what is going on.
Oh no.
Um,
He
and
wants your
I
attention.
wish, you know,
That-
obviously with the program, I can't just get up and walk away, but I'm just I don't know why he's going bananas. Uh,
no,
Muddy.
no one else is home but you, huh?
No, so I
Vanessa
can't really
says
figure,
that's
and it's so unlike him that I know something is wrong. He doesn't
is
bark
that
like this.
well, do
He's
you need
not a
to go
barker.
and then we can come back and at least close out? Do you want to do that?
Mhm.
Do you want to
I'm
go and
so
check and then we can come back and close out? Because I do want to talk about just two more things
okay.
that's coming up. But so that
Jeez,
if you
it
run on away,
sorry. Should I put my camera down? How do we
yeah, you can I guess you can mute it. Um
okay, let me do that quickly and let me just find out what is happening.
there you go. Okay, go see what's going on with the puppy. So
Muddy,
y'all have to
what is it?
entertain me while Miss Gwendolyn goes and checks on the Yorkie. So somebody so let's see. So tell me what you think your personality is. Has anybody ever had their personality read or not read, but I don't know, done, I guess we can call it. Have you ever taken one of those quizzes or been to an event where they were doing that and you know what your personality is? There are a few different sciences behind it. I think the true colors is MBTI science. There's another one where there's like your sanguine, choleric, and those kinds of things. And I'm not quite sure exactly how that goes, but I remember once at my church, we were talking about living in your shape and the shape that God created you to live inside, and how sometimes when we are living outside of our shape or our personality, then we're not living fully and living our best lives or in the fullness of who we were created to be. And so I think that's why I think this work is so important. And even just getting to know who you are, it's important for everything that you do. And if you're going to do it and do it well and do it in a way that is authentic to yourself and living in your authentic self, then I think that you have to be knowing these things about your temperament. Shay
Mhm.
says, I have yet to, but I'm interested in learning more. Mm.
Yay. Well,
Well, Shay, you
that
have to
is
come to our event.
yes.
Segue, segue, segue. So you all have heard me talk about the dating workshop. Well, there's a new sheriff in town on the dating workshop because I'm excited to announce that Gwendolyn Goodman will be joining moi doing the dating workshop, which is going to be November 13th. It's going to be here in the Valley in Encino, a beautiful, beautiful venue. And we're going to, it's called Dating from the Soul. So if you think about that, and then consider ways that you might have dated that haven't worked for you. You weren't dating from your soul. And when you date from your soul, you bring into your life the kind of energy that you deserve. So please stay tuned for that. Thank you, Linda. She says, great conversation, ladies. Thanks for sharing. And thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate seeing you here. Vanessa says, no, but I feel like I'm a happy person and living my best life ever at the age of 66. Well, you go ahead, girl. Live that best life because that
That's
is
right. That's
so,
right.
so important.
Yes.
She says she'd also like to learn more. Sounds like to me, girl, you're going to have to fly out here. That's what I'm thinking. November 13th. Let's talk. Holla at your girl. You got all my info from the last show, but I'll give it to you again. Because as I said, Vanessa was on the Power Conversations show that we just did. So Gwendolyn, um, let's talk about that from a dating perspective, just real quickly. What do you
Okay.
think about
How in terms of how temperament works
yes.
in the dating environment,
Mhm.
it's so key because so much of the conflict that is generated in our home, in our workplace, in our interpersonal relations are because we don't understand one, how it is that we're wired. We
Mhm.
have not spent enough time looking at what are our triggers, and being um, embracing the, the whole of me. It's okay that my brightest color is blue, and because I'm a blue, I love people and I'm empathetic and I'm looking for authenticity in people, and my feelings are tender. So if you are um, a green personality temperament, where your whole deal is responsibility and relativity, and things are more objective for you.
Mm.
So if I'm a green and the copier machine breaks down, and you're standing there, and let's say I'm blue and the thing is breaking down, and I'm standing here with a green personality temperament at the copy machine. Well, the green is going to say, well, what did you do, you know and I'm going to be like offended,
My
like, well, I
feelings
didn't
gonna
break
be hurt. Yes.
you. I'm like wounded because
Yes.
you're implying that I broke it. I didn't break it. I was just making copies, and it
And it
stopped. And
broke
they're saying,
down. Oh
well,
my God.
what did you do? And move over. Let me get to that, because that green personality is rational and they're logical, and they're looking to, when they said, what did you do? That was really a probe to say, what exactly were you working on? Although all those words did not come out, because their temperament is, what did you do? And then, of course, as a blue with that sensitive um, temperament that I have, I'm injured now because you just raised your voice and you yelled at me. Uh, so it's understanding, that the difference, and you can see how that would play out in the workplace. Just that
Mhm.
quick little example. Um,
Absolutely.
of those two temperaments coming together. A green temperament would say, well, in a relationship, that green temperament guy would be the guy that would not be full of words for his mate. On the other hand, if you're blue like me, you're looking for those words. You're looking for him to say, I love you, and I need you, and oh, you look pretty today. And
Yes. All of
you're looking for those words. And the green temperament guy is like, well, I told you last week that
yeah.
you were pretty.
You look nice.
And so why are you still asking me today? If something had changed, I would let you know. You so
Oh my God, that's so funny. So definitely I'm blue, as you said earlier today. I'm blue with some orange and yellow up in there. I think it was, is that right? Was that it?
yeah. And
Yeah.
see that orange personality, if you're let's here, let's do a like a driving opportunity here. We're all in the car and the orange is behind the wheel.
That's me. Okay, I'm driving.
And and the blue is sitting in the passenger seat,
Okay.
and our green is also in the back seat.
Okay.
And
Here we go.
so and our goal is in the black back seat.
Okay.
So and we're trying to get to work. We're all in this car, trying to get to work together. Well, the blue is like, well, we got to get there on time. So let's everybody be cool because we really need to get to work on time. And the green is like, you could really like step this up, and if you dip out a little bit, and not stay in the line with all these cars and just kind of move out and, get around them, then we could get there in a little more timely fashion. And the orange, who is behind the wheel, is dipping and dodging and deciding that, oh, by the way, I think I need a Starbucks. All right, wait a minute. We're going to duck right by here by Starbucks. We're already late for work.
So that's
And the
when the
blue
orange
is having a
comes out.
conniption.
So
The gold, rather, is
yeah.
having a conniption fit because, we got to be punctual. We got to do things right. We got to do things decently and in
Yes.
order because they're planful, responsible people. And so they're really out of their element with this orange behind the wheel, driving erratically and stopping when we know we need to be where we need to be.
So we're gonna take a minute. Come on now.
Only take a minute, right? Calm down.
Ain't nobody in the drive-through. Come on. Okay, so now, so that's the mix that I am. That is the perfect mix of me. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I believe those were the two that I had.
Okay.
Is
That you
there a
were blue and orange? That
yes?
you were, yeah. So it would be looking at, just kind of what's brightest among those. And they can both be very bright. They could be very high on your spectrum.
Yeah, I think we
Both
said that
the
about
orange
that day.
and the blue. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they're all about, the compassion, that blue personality temperament. And orange is about the task. It's like, I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna get it done, but it's gonna be my way and my timing, like that.
yes, indeed, indeed.
And it's gonna be creative and
And
everything.
poor Vanessa Hawkins. Vanessa sent me a message a little while ago saying, "Did you call Mr. So and so, the speaker?" And I was like, "Oh no, I need his number." And then she forwarded the text that she had given me with his number and everything on it. And I was like, "Oh, I didn't see that." And so then I called him right then and there. Like it's like 5 minutes to 6. I called him and I'm like, "Hey, I'm the president of Black Women's Network. I'm going to talk to you." Da, da, da. And I said, "But I gotta go do a podcast." So he goes, "Oh, me too." So just send me an email. I said, "Okay, great. I'll send you an email. I'm glad we got to talk." Yeah. I called her back. I said, I just talked to him. We're all set. She's like, "Hallelujah."
Okay, so it looks like he might be an orange. He might have some orange in there because he was pretty smooth with that. He was okay.
Yeah, he was like, "Okay, cool. Send me a link to your show. I'll send you a link to mine." Cool. So
okay. Right. Then he might have had a little bit of gold in there because he was kind of running things, giving some instruction about how he wants to get it.
That's it. I love this so much. I love it so much. It just makes so much sense. Like Vanessa said, Vanessa Ross said that. So is there a purple?
No, darling.
There's no purple. So it's blue, gold, orange, and green.
Green.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are the four colors.
The orange is driving the car and going to Starbucks. That would be me.
Yeah. The orange was driving the car in that example.
Yes.
All over the place and got to stop and do what they got to do when they want to do it, like they want to do it.
That no way. Yeah. That would, sorry, y'all. That's it. Okay, so this is going to be part of the dating workshop. And as you can see, it makes sense that it would be important to look at these things when you're dating because they are real. It's not magic, it's science. It's real. And so we're going to look at that in the dating workshop. We're going to look at how you can be intentional about your dating life and use mindfulness to get you there. We are going to talk about all the times that you saw those red flags and you said they was pink and they was red and you was looking at them through rose-colored glasses and y'all know it. And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the worst thing you ever did in dating and the best thing you've ever done in dating. And we have prizes. And we're going to also have a panel of gentlemen. And we are going to see what men experience in the dating world and how they view us. And I think that's important as well, because we need to show up for one another in ways that we can connect and relate. And so that's what the dating workshop is all going to be about. We're going to give you breakfast. We're going to give you lunch. We're going to have a spiritual healing dance. We're going to have spoken word. We're going to have a good time. And so be on the lookout because we will be sending out stuff. Gwendolyn, this will be a good segue for you to give your information to the audience. If you
Okay.
want to reach out to Gwendolyn for HR help, that's all the One Solution stuff. If you need a personality, she can do one for you and your girls. If you just want to have your personality tested, she can help you with that. If you need a employee handbook and all those good things, she
That's
can help
right.
you with that. And if you want to join the Black Women's Network, we can both help you with that. And she can tell you about all of the wonderful things that we get a chance to do because she is our community and PR person on the board. So tell them, how can they find Miss Gwendolyn Goodman?
Well, they can find me on Instagram at Gwen Goodman One Solution, and they can find my website probably tomorrow. I think she's going to bring me live again tomorrow. I have been under construction because busy doing everyone's stuff uh, but my own. In the as a digital artist, I get very engaged with other folks' digital artistry work,
Okay.
and I've put my own on the back burner. The good news for me though is that I had the fortune of my referral base business being so successful, and that's when you do an excellent job, somebody will tell somebody.
Absolutely.
So I just say to my brothers and my sisters that are listening, bring your excellent game to whatever it is that you do,
Mm.
and people will tell people about it.
Who will tell
One of
people?
the
Tell people.
real important pieces of the work at One Solution is customer experience
Mm.
training. And that is the old customer service,
Yes.
and understanding how to serve people through their temperament
Hmm.
and giving them what they need, meeting them where they are by the clues that you pick up in your interface with them.
Mm, I love
So
it.
important for us as entrepreneurs, and as people that are in career work, to
Hmm.
just understand how people are wired and then to meet them in a way that allows them to feel comfortable with you, and to feel well served by you,
Mm.
is key.
You know, Gwen,
So
that sounds really like I need to create something for the therapists here at Living Loved. That would be a wonderful thing for you to come and present for us as therapists.
absolutely, because it's so important how people are handled. When that initial contact, the adage that you only get one time to make a first impression is real.
Mm-hmm.
That is real. And reversing that becomes the hardest work when
Mm-hmm.
someone has encountered you and
Yeah.
they've encountered you in a negative way. And when they do, it's like with anything, if you have a bad experience at McDonald's, and an employee of McDonald's does something that um, injures you, you're
Mm-hmm.
not going to walk out of there and say, "Oh, I had a bad experience with that girl at McDonald's. She was this and she was that." You're going to say, "Don't go to McDonald's.
Because that
Those
girl,
people in McDonald's does not know how to treat you.
yeah,
So keep your
yeah,
business out of there.
yeah.
They
This
don't
is an
train their
example. McDonald's,
employees."
don't be trying to sue me. This is an example. It ain't got nothing to do with y'all.
Exactly. This is purely an example.
I'll be over there
Yeah,
getting my French
using
fries
just
later on.
McDonald's
Don't
as a
worry.
very well-known company in
Yeah,
our United States. Just using them for example purposes. But it's whoever you
right.
might have company um, that you would have a negative experience with. You're going to talk about that company, not necessarily the individual. So it's critical that as entrepreneurs, small business owners, that we um, are clear about who our customer is, how
Mm-hmm.
we want them served. it's so important that you have a mindset and a plan about
Mm,
how you want to serve, how you want to show up for your customers, and
right.
what you want them to walk away with. Many of us are in business, and our thought process has been totally on our product and getting it in the hands of the people so the cash register can ka-ching.
Hmm.
Um, and that is all good stuff, but so key to that cash register getting to ka-ching is how the plan that you have, what you've decided about how you're going to serve,
Mm,
what integrity you're going to bring to your process that's
yes.
going to keep that cash register going. And
Hmm.
that is the key piece of the work that for entrepreneurs. And I recently did this training for the city of Inglewood,
Hmm.
um, because of so many complaints that the constituents were sharing about how they were served or how they were not served.
Um,
And so we had an opportunity to have some discussion and bring some examples of, word choices,
hmm.
to tell someone, well, you got to stand in line over there, or you got to call this number. No, I don't got to do anything.
Yes,
So word
exactly.
choice is important.
It's so
I'd like to offer you this phone number, and when it's important to you or when you're ready, make a phone call to this number, versus you got to call them.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So words have power, words are important, and how we use them when we're speaking to people
Hmm.
builds our business or tears it down.
Absolutely. 100%.
Mhm.
Elena is one of the Living Loved therapists. Hello, Elena. Thanks for joining us tonight. And she says so inspirational. Don't you think it would be cool to have Gwendolyn come and do something with us? I think that would be awesome. We'll have to look into that. We
I'd love to.
definitely will.
Mhm.
Well, Miss Gwendolyn, it is time for us to depart and say
To
good.
Mickey,
Yeah, right.
or say goodnight, Gracie,
Yeah,
whichever.
or I'm so glad we had this time.
Together. Yeah, all of those. We
We're
just
dating
dated
ourselves.
ourselves on so many
Dating
levels.
ourselves. Dating ourselves very much. So listen, once again, thank you all for tuning in to Boss Talk. We loved having you here. Thank you, Vanessa. Please come again. Your show was so awesome, she said. Thank you. Every Wednesday at 6 o'clock p.m. right here. And we always have fun. Always.
Yes, you do.
Oh, hello. Hello back. So listen, y'all. Let's thank Miss Gwendolyn Goodman of One Solution for coming on tonight. We I put in the chat her Instagram so you can find her at Gwen Goodman One Solution. And also
The
um
website is coming up, and it is onesolution.live.
okay. And also the website is one
Dot live. Yep.
solution.live. There we go. All
I
right.
might
Let's
be
get
live,
that.
and I might not. I'm not sure. I will be checking when I get done.
All right, one solution.live. And then also, listen, we have not yet gotten the not the Insta, the what's the word? What's the word? Eventbrite up for the dating workshop. It will be on its way. So please be paying attention. It is going to be great. We looking at, ladies from, what do we think? 30 something and on all the way up to as seasoned divas. So we hope that you all will spread the word and let people know about that, and because it's going to be so good.
Yeah.
And thank you for tuning in, Terry.
And likewise, we want to just mention about conference that's coming up the 22nd of
Yes.
October for Black Women's Network. We've pivoted. We hope that you will save that date of October 22nd on your calendar and plan to join us in this powerfully entertaining room. It will be a luncheon this time. Again, that's a move away from our breakfast but to a luncheon meal time and entertainment time, and then a time for us to reflect and to project what it is that is needed for what's next to serve Black women in the Southland,
Absolutely.
actually in the world,
In the
because
world.
now that we are virtual
Mhm.
in so many places, and Black Women's Network being one of them, we get a chance to serve the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we will be looking at a hybrid model when we go back to being in person. We've had a couple meetings in person, and there was nothing like it was awesome. So I'm also going to let you all know that this Saturday, Black Women's Network will Black Women's Network Saturday meet up. And now let's see. Yes, I did it. I did it. I did it. Uh, there is the Eventbrite link, and you can go there. It is free, so it will be virtual, and we will be getting business strategies and tips from Mr. Gilbert Buchanan of the Buchanan Group. He is also the co-host of the podcast Business
I think it's Business Zone.
Business Zone. That's it.
Yes.
And so he will be joining us to talk to us about, small businesses, startups, and all of that kind of stuff. And that is what Black Women's Network is committed to bringing to you, information that will help you start and grow your business. So please, you can go to that Eventbrite link and register for the meeting on this Saturday, September 10th. And it begins at 10:30. And we'd love to have you there. Now, November 13th is the dating workshop, so keep that date in your head and more information to follow. You can join us back here on Wednesday. Ooh, he loved Black women. Well, thank you. We love you too. You business women are welcome in Morocco. Tickets. Morocco, indeed. So we are going to be back here on next Wednesday, and we will at that time have more information about the dating workshop. As you know, Boss Talk airs every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Central Time, and 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Do the math. And so we look forward to seeing you again there. Until then, this has been Boss Talk. That's bold, one of a kind, sensational superstars. And we'll see you again. Thank you, Gwendolyn.
Thank you for
You,
having me.
yes, finally, huh?
Yes. Yeah, I look forward to coming back when we have all the details about our October 22nd
Absolutely.
luncheon.
Yes, we will continue.
We're getting them to you.
Thank you all so much. And we love you. Shalom, y'all.
Okay. Bye for now. Peace out.
Bye for now. You can stay.